easiest vendors to get approved for, and if you follow the exact steps, you can establish a solid foundation that will qualify you for huge loans, high limits, major credit cards, and as little as net 30 accounts are still the best way to build business credit fast in 2024. In this video, I'm going to show you how to build your business credit using the same net 30s that I've personally used to start all my businesses. We're going to go from tier 1 net 30s and we're going to move into revolving lines of business credit. These will be the easiest vendors to get approved for, and if you follow the exact steps, you can establish a solid foundation that will qualify you for huge loans, high limits, major credit cards, and as little as 90 days. So join me on the computer, and I'm going to show you how we're going to build business credit with net 30s in 2024 as fast as possible. All right, let's get right into it. I want to go over a couple of things. There are going to be 2 rounds of building business credit. Round 1 is all about building a solid foundation and providing business credit reporting agencies payment history. That's going to be the main thing. Once you have at least 3 to 5 vendor accounts, which I'll provide to you in this video, reporting to Dun & Bradstreet, Experian, and Equifax Business, you'll be able to start round 2. In round 2, you will gain access to major credit cards with $50,000 plus credit limits, unsecured funding of potentially over $100,000. And again, we just have to make sure that we do this all correctly. First thing I'm going to go over with you is business credit scores really briefly. So this is the Experian business credit score model. As you can see, it ranges from 0 to 100. The place that we want to be is 81 or above. 81 or above is low risk. 81 to 90 is low risk. 91 to 100 is minimum risk. Anything below that, 80 or below, is either below average risk or maximum average risk. Now, getting funding and approval is difficult for suppliers who have a score under 30. Okay, it's not favorable. Scores under 50, in that range, you can still be subject to higher funding rates from lenders. You may also be subject to higher insurance rates. And of course, our 81 to 100 range is the minimal risk. You'll receive the best interest rates, and then more than likely you'll get the highest approvals, and that's what we're shooting for. And I want to go over not just Experian, but I want to look at your Paydex score. Now, this is the score for Dun & Bradstreet. Notice it's very similar to Experian, right? High risk is 0 to 49. These are usually people who have late payments. Medium risk is 50 to 79. So that's 50 to 79, which can be maybe a late payment, but also it can vary by what type of business that you have. Now, the lower risk will be 80, of course, to 100. That's the range that we're going in. And when you're building business credit, if you establish it with 3 to 5 vendors off the bat and they report on-time payments, you usually automatically start at 80. Now, there are some things which will influence your credit score. Your company's credit score, it provides a Snapchat of the business financial health. All right. And it's influenced by these numbers and also factors. Keep in mind your industry that you're in could also impact your score, which is going to be seen by your SIC code. Now, I'm not going to go into great detail about that, but if you want to look it up, look at high risk business or high risk business industries. Some of them just have a harder time getting loans. But as long as you don't have like an active county court judgment, or, you're filing the accounts late or paying late, or you're having high levels of debt, that'll also affect it too. Those things will impact your Experian score, your Paydex score, and also your Equifax business score. And let's go over and look at the Equifax business credit range. Notice this one is quite a bit different. So Equifax generates 2 business credit scores. One's the business credit risk score, and the other is the business failure score. Now, the business credit risk score evaluates the likelihood of a business having 90 days of severe delinquency, or a charge off over the next 12 months. And the business failure score, it predicts the likelihood of a business failing through either formal or informal bankruptcy over the next 12 months. And both scores, they'll reflect any bankruptcies, any liens, any judgments. They'll reflect on-time payment history. They'll reflect a lot of positivity too, as long as that's what you're showing. This will also show your 12-month payment trend, and they'll compare it to the industry average. So they will be comparing your business to your contemporaries in the same industry. And then one last score I wanted to go over before I show you the net 30s, and that is your FICO SBSS credit score range. Now, your FICO SBSS credit score range, which is FICO Small Business Scoring Service, it doesn't generate one particular score. Lenders typically use this score when qualifying applicants for small business loans. And the score can actually vary depending on the bank. So there's not just one particular score. But the score will range from 0 to 300, but you'll need a minimum of 155, right, to typically get an approval. What they want to see, though, is usually 160 to 165. And most lenders set their minimum score requirements to 160 or 165. Now, unlike the other business credit scores, the FICO SBSS credit score, it uses both your personal and your business information to compile a score. And FICO, because it's actually FICO, the company actually created this business model, and they'll actually provide both of those pieces of information to compile this score. And it's not really something that we're going to focus on at this moment, but it's just something that I wanted you to be aware of. And business owners who have a 20% stake or more, which can be up to 5 people in total, FICO will also factor into that business financial information, like your total revenue, number of employees, years in business, and other debts and even more. But not to worry, that's not something that we're going to be looking into. It's just I wanted you to understand what the general idea of is, we're looking for with these scores. And what you really need to have is at least an 80 Paydex score, at least an 80 experience score, and a 550 Equifax business score before you start applying for business credit. And what I'm going to be providing you, and it might change because I added a few. So if I need to add to the description, this might change, but it should be 5 revolving business lines of credit, 3 net 30s, and it should be 9 accounts that report to Experian Business, 4 accounts that report to Equifax Business, and 5 accounts that report to Dun & Bradstreet. Again, if you do this the correct way and you follow this step by step, you will have a business credit score in usually as little as 30 days. It can take up to 90 to get all of your scores, but in as little as 30 days, you will have a business credit score, and there are some things you can apply for. For example, for my businesses, when I get to 30 days and I establish an Experian credit score and a Paydex score, I usually will go to Sam's Club and I'll apply for the Sam's Club store card or the Sam's Club MasterCard. That is a no PG either store card or it's a no PG credit card that you can get with Sam's Club just for your business, just strictly EIN only, no personal guarantee. You can also establish an account with your phone carrier, like, for example, Verizon. Within 30 days, when you have this score, you can go to Verizon, apply for a business account. You'll have a structured business, and you can usually qualify for, zero down, just pay the taxes and, get all your devices that you need for your business. So just in 30 days, there are some things that you can qualify for. And if you want more information on those things, I can make a video on those if you want me to show you how to qualify for. But with all that being said, let's get into the first net 30 that I'm going to recommend that you have to have. The first net 30 account that we're going to be talking about is NAV. NAV is a business credit monitoring service that allows you to see your Experian business score, your Equifax business score, your Paydex score, and your FICO SBSS score. Now, this is the Credit Karma of business, right? You're going to want this one because this one does some amazing things. Um, I think this is the most important business credit builder that you can possibly have. Because it starts as a net 30, but not only is it a net 30, you also get to get a revolving credit card account with it, which is very, very good. Lenders like to see that you have not only just net 30s, but you have some revolving credit, and you get that with the NAV Prime. So you're going to get the detailed credit reporting. You're going to get a trade line that reports for you getting the reporting. So it's like you get Credit Karma almost for your business, and then it reports as a positive payment history to your credit, to your business credit. And on top of that, you also get the NAV Prime card, which automatically repays your account. It's like a think of it like a net 24 hour. Like it pays in a day. It's like a net one, right? So every time you use your card, it takes those payments and then it reports this back. So now not only do you get the monitoring service for all of your scores, you also get a revolving account all with this one thing. So again, NAV Prime, it gives you two right off the bat that report to all the bureaus. That's going to be another thing that's going to be, if you try to look for this yourself, it would be, it gets hard to find business accounts or business net 30s that report to all of the bureaus. But this one, off the bat, you have two that report to all three. I mean, that is amazing. Not to mention, this is one of the fastest credit builders as far as reporting goes. They report very, very quickly. And again, if you do it properly, you can start generating scores within 30 days. So at the time of this recording, NAV Prime costs $49.99 per month, and you have the ability to add on FICO SBSS score at checkout, which would bring your NAV price to $59.99 per month. And again, I highly, highly, highly recommend NAV. If you don't take any account 30, any net 30 account, off of this list, definitely choose NAV. All right. So let's get into the next account. Our second net 30 on the list will be BCC Office Supplies. This is a woman-owned business, and it's a B2B office supply company that reports to Experian Business. And their net 30 program is, of course, no PG, so you're not personally liable for the account. It's no hard inquiry, and it's very easy to get approved for a brand new business. The application process is really, really easy. Right here, as you can see, apply for net 30. You would just click on that and you would fill out the information here: your business name, your business address, your state, your business number, your SIC code, your NAICS code, your DUNS number, the date that you were incorporated, and how your structure is filed. And you can choose that here, and a password. It's very, very straightforward, guys. And this is $25 a month. And for $25 per month, you'll get access to purchase their wholesale products. But the most important part is that they'll report all the purchases you make by invoice to Experian Business. And remember, Experian is probably the most important business credit reporting agency because it is tied to your FICO SBSS score. So it does help there. All right, so the next account on our list is going to be Uline. Uline is a family-owned business, and it's the leading distributor of shipping industrial packaging materials to businesses throughout North America. This is an old one, but a good one. It's been around for a very long time. You can use it to buy things like, or not to buy, but to invoice, then pay for within 30 days. Boxes, material handling tools, warehouse equipment. I think from here, when I wanted to start Amazon FBA, I needed a label maker. I invoiced the label maker on Uline. So there are things that you can find that you actually need that you can invoice and you can pay for that will also help you establish business credit. I mean, you can get, coffee mug, drill if you need it. So these are things you can invoice and pay back within 30 days. And the process is pretty easy. So How can I establish credit with Uline? So for new customers, you use your customer number from the back of the catalog when prompted. Select invoice me during the checkout process, and qualified business customers will receive a net billing account, which allows payment within 30 days of receiving the invoice. Very simple, very straightforward. And again, this is one of my favorite net 30s. I've been using them for a very, very long time. Uline, they report to Dun& Bradstreet on the first of every month and automatically along with Experian. So you already have Experian and Dun& Bradstreet with Uline. Definitely, guys, check this one out. This is an oldie, but still a goodie. All right, let's get to the next Net 30 account. All right, so our fourth Net 30, and it may be one of your most used Net 30s, is QUILL. QUILL is a office supplies retailer, and they're also a subsidiary of Staples. They report to Dun& Bradstreet all invoices greater than, I believe, $100 on a monthly basis. So Dun& Bradstreet, they receive your file, but according to QUILL, it can take up to 90 days for it to reflect on your Dun's report. QUILL will report all those payments to Dun & Bradstreet on Monday each week, unless a holiday falls on that day. If that happens, the reporting would be on the following business day. But this is definitely going to be one of the ones you probably will end up using most often. Bounty, they have Kleenex, they have Ajax. I mean, if you think of like a regular store, like a Walmart or something like that, they're going to have what you need, and you can invoice this and pay it back within 30 days. So definitely one of the easier ones, I think, to actually find use in. Now, for requesting Net 30, you can go to the sites at the bottom. You just click on the request. You select apply Net 30 terms as long as the payment method at checkout is $100 cart minimum. Then they'll ask you to fill out the form. Upon the submission, you'll receive an instant decision if you're approved or not. Very easy. Once you're approved, your order will be confirmed and shipped. All right. Now, if not approved, businesses can establish a payment history by completing their orders with a credit card for 90 consecutive days to be reviewed for terms. Personally, I've been automatically approved for QUILL. I haven't had any problems where I was not approved. But if you weren't, for whatever reason, you can just use a credit card for that first order. And then I don't think I'll wait 90 days. I would just try again within like 30 days to reapply. Or if you're having issues, you can also call and see if they can take a look at your application again. But QUILL is another good one. Very easy to use, and an old one that has been around for a very, very long time. All right, let's get into the next Net 30 account that we're going to be using. Our next Net 30 is Shirtsy. If you want to create your own customized apparel, shoes, office supplies, mugs, any other merchandise while you're building your business credit, then Shirtsy, they should be on your radar. Shirtsy Net 30 gives you, like the rest of them, a 30-day credit term to pay your invoice. And they're going to report to Experian. All right. And they actually report to, they report to all three major business credit bureaus. So you're going to get it with Dun & Bradstreet, you're going to get it with Experian, and you're going to get it with Equifax Business. They do have a $99 annual payment fee that you do have to pay up front, and that may turn some people off. But there's also some benefit to Shirtsy. Like, the reporting is very, very fast. I mean, that initial fee that you pay for $99 gets reported. So as soon as you pay the $99 fee and then you set up the Net 30 with Shirtsy, they report that payment. So, I mean, off the bat, you're going to get it right away. And then if you were into looking at anything that you can create, again, any customizable clothes, keychains, mugs, shirts, this is definitely going to be it for you. And for Shirtsy, Net 30 application, again, at the bottom, you fill it out. It's pretty straightforward. And then you submit the information. They approve like usually right away. They also have drop shipping applications if that was something that you were interested in, maybe as a viable business. So really, really good one. I've been using them for a long time. Don't really mind paying that $99 annual fee, especially if you only want to use them just to get that fee and maybe grab like one or two more things in the next like 90 days. Cool. Then Shirtsy is definitely for you. And let's move on to our next Net 30 account. Now, our next Net 30 is going to be eCredible. Some of you may be aware of eCredible for personal and building your credit. There's also a eCredible business lift. Okay. So with eCredible, another great thing about this one, it reports to all the business bureaus. That's going to be done in Bradstreet. That's going to be Equifax. That's going to be Experian. It also reports bills that you have with your business and turns them into trade lines like power, cell phone, internet, water. If you pay rent for a virtual office, I actually included that as one. That's going to be reported as well. And that's $19.95 a month. You can also get the Business Lift Plus if you're interested in that. Now, one thing I want to note, when eCredible Business Lift accounts are added, like let's say, for example, you get a business phone line with Verizon and then it's added to eCredible. That business trade line that's added onto eCredible only reports to Dun & Bradstreet and Credit Safe. And I believe that it's actually somewhere right here. Oh, here we go. So eCredible reports to Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, Credit Safe, and Experian. Dun & Bradstreet and Experian accept only the eCredible business subscription payment at this time. So just bear in mind, you only get one, just the subscription that reports to Experian, Equifax, and Dun & Bradstreet. Equifax accepts only accounts verified to be in the business name. Personal accounts will not be reported to Equifax and Credit Safe. So, and I'm glad that I just reread this because it used to be different. So let me rephrase what I just said. When you do eCredible Business Lift, it'll report to Dun & Bradstreet. It'll report to Experian. It'll report to Equifax Business. If you have a bill, utility, or your virtual address that you want to report, it'll report to Equifax and it'll report to Credit Safe, which is another business credit bureau. Not one that's talked about as much, but it is another one. So just bear that in mind. Other than that, I think that it's a great tool. I think that it's awesome. I would go through and read this just because these on-demand verification accounts, they're very, very strict about that. If they try to call and verify this account, but they can't, they're not going to add it on as a trade line to your business credit report. So just be aware that if you don't see that on your Experian, you may have to contact them and make sure they can verify this information for those additional accounts. They call them on-demand accounts. Now, eCredible is going to be our last Net 30. The next accounts that we're looking at are going to be business revolving lines of credit. Business revolving line of credit will be Bill, also known as Bill Divvy. For me, this is actually an oldie. Originally, Divvy was its separate company, and they also offered a similar product. They stopped offering this product for a while, but the Bill and Divvy Corporation came back, and they have this new corporate card, very similar to the NAV card. It's basically a Net 7, all right? Every week, it auto pays from your bank account all the transactions that you made. You get a physical card. You also get a virtual card. And on your business credit report, this will be listed as a revolving account, which looks like a credit card. So it'll look like you have a business credit card reporting, which is good. You want to have a few revolving accounts, not just Net 30s. And this account will report to Experian at no additional cost. So, you might want to split a couple days in the week from using your NAV card with a couple days in the week of using your Bill Divvy card. And now you have two revolving lines of credit that look like credit cards on your business report, which, trust me, that looks excellent. So this is another one that I recommend. Again, it's an oldie that came back and revamped, and it's very easy and straight to the point to use. And let's get on to our next revolving business line of credit. And our next business line of credit will actually be one that I'm very familiar with. It is the Sam's Club Business MasterCard. Now, for the people who wanted a no PG, no personal guarantee, large line of credit, I believe this is the best thing that you're going to get. This is a no PG, which means even if you have bad credit, it does not matter because this does not use your personal credit. It only will use your business credit. I believe the credit limit goes up to $30,000. When I had the store card, it went up to 15, and the credit card I had was up to $20,000. So you can actually have both. You can have the Sam's Club store card, which when you first start, if you establish your business credit in 30 days and you go to apply for the store card, and let's say you get it for like $8,000, that's actually pretty good because this card can be used anywhere for Sam's Club and all Walmart purchases. So there'll be plenty of things that you can use for Walmart and Sam's Club to purchase with this store card. That's really awesome. And then if you don't qualify for that, use the store card for a few months and you can qualify for the Business MasterCard, which is a regular credit card that you can use. Now, when I had bad credit, this was the one that I was going for all the time. And you need to have your business structured, like my last video where I stated about being structured is very important if you want to get approved for this card. And it definitely came in handy when I needed a credit card while I was rebuilding. And this account reports to Dun and Bradstreet and Experian Business. And if you scroll down to the bottom of the Sam's Club credit card page, you can actually go here and you can click Apply Now. And then that's how you'll be able to be eligible for the Sam's Club Business MasterCard. You do need to have a membership with them in order to apply for this card. All right. Let's move on to our next revolving business line of credit. Now, this is one that very few people talk about, but for me personally, this was like my fourth or fifth net revolving card that I got. And I got it within like, I think my first like 30 to 60 days, but it's Floor in the Core. Cool thing about Floor in the Core, this one reported as a $20,000 line of credit to my business credit. All I did was when I applied, I did state that my business I changed the business type to be around like furniture or home improvements, something of that nature. And then I just asked them for, I think, like 20,000, the highest that it could possibly go to, and I was approved. There is a 6-month financing where no interest is paid, and all you have to do is go to Floor in the Core and you can apply now. I didn't really use it for like much, but when you go there, the Pro Premier card, you go and you apply with all your business information, taxpayer ID, Dun and Bradstreet, number of employees, years established, and request the credit line. And I think it just took me like maybe 2 or 3 days, and I mean I was approved right away for $20,000. I mean it looked really 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 good. And if you do anything with home improvement, if you do anything where you might need materials, anything like that, this will definitely come in handy. 6 months of no interest definitely will come in handy. So again, it's one that I'd never really hear anybody talk about, but this account reports to Experian Business, and it usually reports within the first 30 days. And from what I've seen, it reports even if you don't have a balance yet. You don't even have to use it. It just reports as a $20,000 revolving credit line. So this is one of my favorite ones. Very, very easy to get, just as long as if you've done everything else prior, gotten a business credit score, I say go ahead and apply for this one. You'll probably get approved. And let's move on to our next revolving business line of credit. And this is going to be our last account, which I think is phenomenal, but it's also another business credit card, but it's also a fuel card. So it's the A to B fuel gas card. You can save an average of 42 cents per gallon with this card. Application is quick. You should be instantly approved. I had no problem getting this one. With this one, you want to do, sorry, let me scroll down. You want to get the A to B unlimited prepaid fuel card product. Make sure it's this one. You get approved regardless of your credit score. It helps build your business credit. You can spend without limits and purchase fuel anywhere that accepts Visa. And the average discount is 42 cents per gallon on truck diesel gas. And it also, I mean, it's used for regular gas too, but that's the 42 cents that you save when you actually have that. It is a $3 fee per active card that you have if you want to give someone else a card. It's a $35 account setup fee. All right. But this account does report to Experian Business, and it's really, really easy to use. And I'm going to see if I can log into the account that I had with them so I can kind of show you how that works. All right, so this is the account that I had with A to B. And as you can see, it looks like it started February of 2023. It shows you the term, zero balance. Like I wasn't really using it at this time because this is a business that I no longer use. It's dissolved, but I still have the account. So as you can see here, they were reporting to Experian all the way up until January. They're still reporting to Experian now. All right. So it says it takes Experian up to 4 weeks to process and display the trade line in your report. Only reports uploaded for 2023 shown here. For reporting before 2023, then you can reach out to their support. So let's see, account limits, fuel card spending limit. So the way that it worked, I would transfer money from my bank account over to this account, and then I would be able to make transactions. $3 a month per card. I had 2 active cards, so I guess it was $6 a month. Okay. So again, guys, pretty straightforward. And this is actually the last account that I had for you for the business lines of credit. So let me know what accounts you applied for, which ones that you were approved for. And in 30 days, if you apply for all of these accounts and you implement this the exact same way that I've instructed, and you also watched my video about how to structure a business properly, this will get you within 90 days. You can apply for just about anything. All right. Again, if you want to get that no PG Sam's Club Business MasterCard, that's the best card I think that you could possibly get. That's a no PG. A lot of the other cards that you may qualify for will also be some corporate store lines of credit, which are still good because you can find ways to use those or make money off of those. One thing that a lot of people who talk about business credit won't mention is that no matter how good your business credit score is, there's still a point where a personal guarantee is just unavoidable, which is why I did so many videos on on repairing credit, because you have to understand there is a limit that you could do with just business credit alone. There is a limit. You do need good credit at some point, good personal credit. A lot of business lines of credit do need to be personally guaranteed. So just bear that in mind. But in the meantime, while you're working on your credit, if that's a thing for you, while you're working on that, you can establish business credit, and you can do both at the same time. So when your credit is good and your business credit is good, you could do nothing that you can't get. So if this information was helpful to you, please do me a favor, like, share, subscribe. Please watch my other videos. I appreciate you guys. You guys have been phenomenal. All this channel has done is grown, and it's been just nothing but positivity. Thank you so much for your support, and you guys have a wonderful day.